Galactic Assembly had witnessed wars that lasted centuries, empires that burned entire star systems, and weapons capable of turning suns into expanding clouds of plasma. But nothing in its history prepared the delegates for what happened when humanity was finally attacked. The emergency chamber was packed with hundreds of alien representatives when the assembly speaker announced that the Varkesh Dominion had crossed the Terran border and destroyed 3 human colonies. Every screen displayed the same terrifying images: human settlements burning beneath alien bombardment, orbital stations collapsing, and evacuation ships fleeing into deep space. The Varkesh ambassador stood proudly before the assembly, expecting applause. Instead, the humans remained completely silent. No threats, no demands, no declarations of vengeance, just silence. The speaker looked toward the human representative, Admiral Elias Ward, and asked the question everyone was thinking. Humanity has suffered a direct attack. What is your response? Ward slowly stood from his seat, adjusted his uniform, and answered with 4 words that would later become one of the most feared sentences in galactic history. The war is over. The chamber erupted in confusion. Several delegates laughed, believing the human commander had misunderstood the situation. The Varkesh ambassador even smiled. Your colonies have been destroyed, he said. Your fleets have retreated. Your military has suffered losses. Yet you claim the war is over? Ward looked directly at him. No, he replied calmly. You misunderstood me. We are not asking you to stop fighting. We are informing you that the fighting has already stopped. The ambassador laughed louder. You have not even engaged our main fleet. Ward's expression never changed. Exactly. That single word silenced the chamber. The assembly speaker demanded clarification, but Ward simply returned to his seat. Within minutes, communication networks across the galaxy began reporting strange disturbances. Varkesh military satellites were going offline. Their long-range sensors were losing contact with fleets stationed thousands of light-years away. Their supply depots were suddenly inaccessible. Their command networks began receiving corrupted orders, and then the first Varkesh admiral disappeared. For the next 6 hours, the galaxy watched in disbelief as the Varkesh Dominion began collapsing from the inside. No human fleet appeared on public sensors. No massive battles occurred. No planets were bombarded. Instead, Varkesh warships began shutting down one by one. Some simply lost power. Others discovered that their navigation systems had been remotely locked. Entire carrier groups found themselves unable to communicate with headquarters. Military databases vanished. Weapon systems refused authorization. Even the Dominion's supposedly impenetrable fortress worlds suddenly sealed their own gates. The Galactic Assembly demanded answers from Earth, but Admiral Ward gave only one statement. We told you. Humans don't fight wars. We end them. The phrase spread through the galaxy like a virus. The Varkesh High Command panicked. Their leaders had expected humanity to respond with overwhelming military force, but instead they faced something they could not understand. Humanity had studied them. For decades, human intelligence agencies had quietly mapped every Varkesh supply route, command structure, financial network, military dependency, and political weakness. Humans had discovered that the Dominion's enormous military was built upon a fragile system of interconnected infrastructure. Destroy the weapons and the war would continue. Destroy the system that allowed the weapons to exist, and the war would die by itself. That was the difference between fighting a war and ending one. The Varkesh had prepared for battles. Humanity had prepared for consequences. Then something appeared on every Varkesh military screen. It was a simple message written in their own language. Your war has been terminated. Beneath it were thousands of coordinates. The coordinates belonged to Varkesh weapons factories, ammunition reserves, shipyards, military laboratories, fuel depots, and command centers. But none of them had been destroyed. They had simply been surrounded. Human stealth ships had been hiding in the darkness between planets for weeks, waiting. The Varkesh commanders suddenly realized the horrifying truth. Humanity could have attacked at any moment. Instead, the humans had positioned themselves so perfectly that every Varkesh military installation was already helpless before the first shot was fired. The Dominion launched its emergency fleet anyway. Nearly 40,000 warships gathered around the Varkesh capital, preparing for the greatest battle in modern galactic history. The assembly watched from thousands of light-years away as the enormous fleet activated its weapons. Everyone expected the humans to finally appear, but nothing happened. Then the Varkesh fleet commander received a private transmission from Earth. Admiral Ward appeared on the screen. "You have 1 hour," he said. The commander demanded to know what humanity wanted. Ward answered, "Your surrender." The Varkesh commander laughed. "And if we refuse?" Ward looked almost disappointed. "Then we will make your decision for you." The transmission ended. 59 minutes later, the Varkesh fleet prepared to fire. At exactly the 60th minute, every human stealth vessel revealed itself. Not thousands, not millions, only 12 ships. The assembly stared at the sensor readings in disbelief. 12 human vessels were facing 40,000 enemy warships. The Varkesh commander laughed so violently that his officers began joining him. 12 ships, he shouted. Humanity sends 12 ships against 40,000. Then the human fleet activated. Space itself seemed to bend around them. Their hulls opened, releasing thousands of microscopic drones that spread through the battlefield like a living cloud. They did not attack the Varkesh ships. They connected to them. Within seconds, every Varkesh warship received the same command. Power down. Thousands of captains tried to override it. None succeeded. Engines shut down. Weapons became inactive. Shields collapsed into standby mode. Navigation systems froze. The 40,000 ship fleet became 40,000 powerless metal structures floating through space. The human vessels moved among them without firing a single weapon. The Varkesh commander stared at his dead fleet in horror. "What did you do?" he whispered. Admiral Ward answered through the communication channel. "We removed your ability to continue the war." The commander demanded to know how. Ward simply said, "We built your systems better than you did." Then the transmission ended. The Galactic Assembly was horrified. Not because humanity had destroyed the Varkesh fleet, but because humanity had defeated it without destroying it. There were no exploding ships, no millions of dead soldiers, no burning planets. Humanity had dismantled the Dominion's ability to fight while leaving its people alive. Some delegates called it brilliant. Others called it terrifying. The ancient military civilizations of the galaxy were particularly disturbed. Their entire understanding of warfare had been built around superior firepower, larger armies, stronger shields, and bigger weapons. Humanity had introduced another concept entirely: control. Humans did not need to destroy everything in their path. They simply needed to make resistance impossible. But the Varkesh Emperor refused to surrender. From inside the capital, he ordered every civilian world to mobilize. He announced that the Dominion would fight humanity to the last planet. The Assembly expected Earth to retaliate with overwhelming force. Instead, Admiral Ward requested a private communication with the Emperor. The Emperor appeared on screen wearing ceremonial armor. "You may defeat our fleet," he said, "but you will never defeat our people." Ward nodded. "I know," the Emperor smiled. "Then you admit you cannot win." Ward leaned forward. "No, I admit your people are not our enemy." The Emperor's smile disappeared. Ward continued. "Your government started this war. Your generals continued it. Your people paid for it. We are not here to punish your civilians for the decisions of your rulers." The Emperor stared silently. "Then what do you want?" Ward answered. "Your military command structure dissolved. Your weapon systems placed under international supervision. Every human prisoner returned. Every colony evacuated safely, and your government signs an agreement preventing another attack." The Emperor rejected the terms. Ward nodded once. "Then we continue." The Emperor asked, "Continue what?" Ward replied, "Ending the war." 3 hours later, the Varkesh government lost control of its military. Human intelligence teams had contacted dozens of Varkesh generals and offered them a choice: surrender peacefully or watch their military infrastructure disappear piece by piece. Most chose surrender. The few who refused discovered that their own officers had locked them out of their command systems. Humanity had not conquered the Dominion. Humanity had convinced the Dominion that continuing the war was impossible. By sunrise on the Varkesh homeworld, millions of soldiers had placed their weapons on the ground. Not because they had been defeated in battle, but because there was no longer a battle to fight. The Galactic Assembly eventually changed its official doctrine. Humanity was no longer classified as a rising military power. It was classified as something entirely different: a strategic civilization capable of ending wars before they became wars. New alien officers studied human tactics. Diplomats studied human psychology. Engineers studied human technology, but none of them truly understood the most important lesson. Humanity's greatest advantage was not its weapons. It was its refusal to confuse victory with destruction. And centuries later, when young alien students asked their teachers why the galaxy feared humanity, they were shown an old recording of Admiral Elias Ward standing before the Galactic Assembly. His uniform was simple. His voice was calm. Behind him stood no army, no fleet, and no weapon. Just the symbol of Earth. The recording ended with his most famous words: "We don't fight wars because we enjoy them. We fight only when we must. But when we decide a war has to end, we don't stop until there is nothing left for either side to fight over." The classroom would fall silent every time, because the galaxy had finally understood the truth that the Galactic Assembly had learned the hard way. Humanity was not the species that wanted the most wars. Humanity was the species that knew exactly how to make them the last. The galaxy believed humanity's greatest achievement was defeating the Varkesh Dominion without destroying it. But then an ancient threat emerged from beyond known space, the Null Dominion, a civilization that did not conquer worlds but erased them from history. Entire species vanished from databases, memories, and records as if they had never existed. When the Null Dominion attacked Earth, the Galactic Assembly watched helplessly as stars disappeared from its maps. But humanity discovered the enemy had made one critical mistake. Humans refused to forget. Every device, archive, spacecraft, and colony contained fragments of human history, creating a distributed memory network that could survive even if individual systems were erased. The Null Dominion unleashed its most powerful weapon, a wave designed to erase information across thousands of light years. Earth appeared to vanish, but humanity had already spread its knowledge far beyond the solar system. Hidden observation stations, exploration vessels, colonies, research facilities, and forgotten probes preserved countless copies of human civilization. The Null Dominion realized it had not attacked a single planet. It had attacked a species scattered across the stars. Humanity was no longer something that could be erased by destroying Earth, because wherever a human memory survived, humanity survived with it. For the first time in millions of years, the Null Dominion requested negotiations. Its supreme intelligence offered humanity access to unimaginable technology in exchange for peace. But the human representative asked one question: how many civilizations had the Dominion erased? When the answer came, more than 23,000, the human response stunned the galaxy. Humanity opened its archives and transmitted the histories of those forgotten civilizations across the stars. Their names, languages, discoveries, songs, and stories returned to galactic memory. The Null Dominion had built its power on making victims disappear. Humanity defeated it by making those victims impossible to forget. The Dominion finally surrendered, expecting humanity to demand revenge. Instead, Earth demanded that every stolen history be restored and every erased civilization be remembered. Humanity refused to destroy the enemy because doing so would turn Earth into the very kind of empire it had fought against. The Galactic Assembly finally understood that humanity's greatest weapon was not its fleets or technology. It was its ability to transform defeat into survival and destruction into remembrance. Humans had not simply defeated the Null Dominion. They had restored thousands of civilizations that the galaxy had forgotten. Centuries later, historians called the event the War of Remembering, but humanity never accepted that name. To humans, it had never been about winning a war. It had been about protecting the future. The galaxy finally understood the terrifying truth behind humanity's ancient doctrine. Humans do not fight wars because they love violence, and they do not destroy enemies simply because they can. When forced into conflict, humanity searches for a way to make the war itself impossible to continue. Because to humanity, true victory is not standing over the ruins of an enemy. It is creating a future where nobody has to fight the same war again.